told me your mom was serious. You're in Costa Rica? Visiting the natives, huh? Sun, sand, and adventure? My little Indiana Ann, world traveler extraordinaire. Well, give me a call when you get back, okay? By the way, I thought you hated flying.
Auxilio, este es el vuelo CR-17. Hemos perdido poder en mundo todo. ¡Estamos cayendo!
Welcome to Trespasser. This is the first level of the game, for Beach. It basically serves as the tutorial level and instructs the players on the various controls, puzzles, and tools that will be featured in the upcoming levels. We have apparently survived the plane crash because we were locked in the bathroom when the plane disintegrated. The plane looking about half the size it should be. The funny thing is, the plane isn't even supposed to actually be in this level. It is supposed to be approximately in that direction on a secret beach that would have featured in the next level, the Jungle Road, but due to the level being massively cut down in size, the beach was removed.
Hello? Marquez? Are you there? ¿Estás ahí? He was shouting when we went down. He was trying to level us out.
Marquez, the pilot of the plane, didn't survive the plane crash, but when we triggered the voice line, it also made a rock fall into the water here. See how the ripples are just a texture overlaid on the water's surface? This was one of the tricks to optimize the game for computers at the time. It didn't work very well. The water itself is faked. It's merely a two-dimensional object which Anne and floating objects sort of hover over. It has no real depth or viscosity like real water has. The game doesn't really handle water objects of excessive size, so you'll only ever find small contained areas like this. Let's see what happens if we try swimming out to sea.
I don't think I feel like swimming. Okay, I really don't feel like swimming. It's not like I can swim to America.
In the original vision the developers had for the game, Anne would either be pushed back to shore via a powerful current, or she would get eaten by some sort of underwater creature. In the game we ended up getting, neither of these actually happen. Interactions with shrubs and bushes are handled via an invisible floor texture which makes a rustle noise instead of a footstep noise, meaning that the developers had to place each tile under each plant. This gets pretty crazy when you realize just how many plants there are in these levels. I'm guessing there was some level of automation to aid this process. We get cute little text pop-ups at the top of the screen that only appear in this level. I sort of wish they were used elsewhere, but I suppose they aren't very diegetic. They feel like a last-minute addition by an overworked staff. We're coming up on some sort of construction site, but some people call this the jungle gym. And look at that, floating objects in the first few minutes of the game. Anne's upper body strength must be pretty amazing. She has a limit to how much she can lift in-game, but come on, just look at this. The thing about this game's physics is that everything is frozen until touched by you or another object. Then the physics simulation begins. This results in impossible structures like these being perfectly intact until nudged. Keep in mind, the island experienced a hurricane before we got here. Another quirk is the game has, at best, a very faulty friction system. Objects will simply slide against one another as if covered in oil, even on flat surfaces. There's a physics freeze system that stops items from sliding forever, but it usually kicks in way too late. And here we see the friction issue. A heavy plank of wood like that should not be sliding on concrete and soil. Look at it. It's ridiculous. Let's just bump these incredibly heavy barrels off like a champ. Now this is supposed to be a broken axe, missing the head. Annoyingly, there are no bladed weapons in this game. This particular spot has a voice line by Hammond, but you can only hear it if you backtrack after going further into the level. This is because it wouldn't make any sense for Anne to know that she's on Site B until she actually sees proof of this. Anne's health is shown in the form of a heart tattoo on her comfortably large chest. As she takes damage, it fills up, and over time it regenerates. Anne has 100 health and regenerates at the speed of 1 per second. About 1.5 minutes to regenerate from high damage. You can get surprisingly good at platforming in this game once you've played it enough. Let's push over some more barrels. It can be surprisingly easy to die from fall damage in this game. Always check your health after you get hurt. Now here there is another Hammond voice line, but it plays without the island being established as Site B.
The southern beach looked out over trackless ocean, down past Peru all the way to Antarctica.
There is no reason for Anne to be reciting Hammond's memoirs at this point of the game. It's funny that they realize that these voice lines make no sense so late into development.
It is beautiful here. Must be one of the offshore islands. Coco's one of the Cinco Muertes, maybe.
The solution to almost everything standing in your way is to just body slam it. Anne is like a linebacker. The gun range. Trespasser's guns work in such a unique way.
8 shots. Heavier than I thought. 7. Keep it steady. 5. 4. 3. 1. Empty.
When picked up, a gun will mostly set itself into the proper aiming position. This is done by invisible magnets which tell the hand
6
grip
left.
which orientation and distance the object should be once grabbed. Interestingly, this was a relatively late addition to the game. The original idea would be that players would have to aim weapons themselves.
6 rounds.
By using shift and control, you can manipulate Anne's arm and wrist, twisting and rotating them separately. This often results in Anne's arm moving into positions that a human couldn't actually do, and yes, it does mean you can shoot
6
yourself,
left.
as I am very badly attempting to do. The worst part is that all this effort to move the arm and wrist is never really needed in-game. It must have taken quite a long time to program, yet its game impact is minimal at best. Isn't that just so fitting for this game? A load of effort and no real payoff. And we're dead. No worries, I'll just load the quick save. Alright, we're back. Let's just grab a couple of guns
6
for
rounds.
the level and keep on moving.
6 left.
A Spaz
8
12,
left.
or as the strategy guide bizarrely calls it, the
6
Bell
left.
shotgun. All shotguns in game fire slug rounds, so there's no spread or anything. Now for a long time I thought that these chairs were just pieces of a chair floating together to resemble a completed chair. Upon checking them out in the Trespasser editor, they do in fact have magnets that hold the pieces together. The issue is that these are very faulty, and often the chair just falls apart from a light nudge. Other times you can bash or shoot the chair and it just refuses to fall apart. It just makes no sense at all.
6 rounds.
See? Nothing. The chair breaks from dropping gently, but gunshots don't make a dent. The idea of these was apparently that you would break furniture to turn them into clubs and weapons. That never panned out. Here they want us
2
to throw a
shots.
rock to make the crate fall down. We're just going to shoot it down instead. There's really no reason to throw rocks in this game when gunshots just work so much better.
Maybe if there's a phone line or a radio.
A baseball bat, which would usually be a good weapon in games with blunt object physics. Unfortunately, due to some badly programmed physics code, melee weapons outright refuse to hurt enemies for the most part. This thing might as well be made of foam as far as the game is concerned. Sure, you have a chance of impaling a raptor with it, and that's always spectacular, but most often the raptor just charges right for your attack, right into you, and you get eaten.
InGen. Some kind of... Wait. International Genetic Technologies. That was the company from the dinosaur trial. After the trial, that old guy, John Hammond, wrote a book. He said it was somewhere in Central America.
My name is John Parker Hammond. I was born on March 14th, 1928.
Oh no. Oh God. This is Site B. This is John Hammond's Lost World.
Look at the location of this sign. It interferes with the road. Who designed this? Spared no expense. To be clear, Anne is not being haunted by the spirit of John Parker Hammond. She has read his book in the past. Now knowing that she is on Site B, she is reciting lines from his memoirs in her head via internal monologue. A common misconception is that for unknown reasons, she is just hearing his voice. This is not the case. It's ambiguous if she's talking to herself, but Hammond's voice is purely in her head. Looks like there's a crashed truck and a bunch of crates. Let's check it out. So there's a rifle of some kind balanced in an impossible manner. I want it. Damn it! Okay, next time should work.
Around 10?
Never mind Anne's arm clipping through solid metal. She's fine.
Around 10? There must have been something in the memoir.
A Nobel Prize or a financial empire awaits somewhere in a darkened room, in a dirty, derelict building, somewhere in the Pacific.
The Browning hunting rifle. With 25 damage per shot, it can kill a weaker raptor with a single headshot. It has a low rate of fire, which makes it kind of risky to use
9
up
shots.
close, but there's worse weapons you could be carrying on the island. This is a pretty good one.
Oh man. He really did it.
Brachiosaur, oldest of our recreations by 50 million years. The only true Jurassic native.
The Brachiosaurus, there's only 3 of them in the game and 2 of them are right here. They're just for spectacle, they just kind of walk around aimlessly. Go ahead and shoot them, they regenerate health so fast that you can't possibly kill them. Maybe in a better game there would have been a purpose for these massive creatures, demolishing a house or scaring away a T-Rex or something, but they really have no gameplay purpose at all. I don't even think they can attack you in any way, even if you injure them. See? Nothing. I never needed that hunting rifle anyways.
6 left. 5.
Another box puzzle. First level and we've already had, what, 3 of them? It only gets worse.
knew all along this was a stupid idea. They're probably out drinking right now. Anne? Anne who?
A free desert eagle and a suspiciously arena-looking location. What's the worst that could happen? Let's just have a look around, just in case there's any raptors. Looking safe so far. This area looks suspicious. I better walk backwards just in case there's a sneaky teleport trigger which activates when I get close. The first enemy of the game, the Tribe A Raptor. You might remember these guys from the Lost World movie. They represent the males in that film, but here they're just the weakest raptors. Low health, low damage. They're a good enemy to start with. Oh, and of course, he did teleport into frame. Yeah, this silly little guy is usually supposed to ambush you from your left, but if you know where he's supposed to appear, you can turn what is supposed to be a scary encounter into a complete joke.
The technology, the real trick of it, is still in there. In a darkened room in an empty building with a dirty floor, it waits. The flashpoint, the origin of Jurassic Park.
It's fun to see seesaw puzzles. Half-Life 2 would feature them quite a bit, long after this game was made. They're a good way to show off working physics.
8 left.
A forest this wild, this unknown, has not been seen by any human since the great hunters of the early Pliocene.
What's funny about that line is that this area is not particularly forest-like. Heaps of voice lines are out of order. That voice line belongs in the next level, which has a fair bit more plant life. Another damn raptor. The trick is to get a couple of headshots in rapidly. That'll put him down for good.
6.
Raptors do in fact regenerate health as well. Either run away from them or kill them. Wasting ammo and letting them regenerate is just not a good idea.
Velociraptor, a small theropod native to China and Mongolia. Pack hunter, quite vicious and quite intelligent.
This was the place. This used to be just an urban myth.
Now what we see here is the end of a monorail system which in theory should go all the way to the town on the island. But due to a cut level and a landslide that we never actually get to see, we have to take a longer route instead. The area at the beach was intended to be some sort of hotel for guests, scientists, those sorts of things. And the idea is that this monorail would deliver them to the town where buses would then ferry them where they needed to be. Now look at that. A gigantic locked gate. Maybe we could pry off the bar? Nope. A body slam or two? Nope. This gate was intended to be unlocked by poking that wooden bar out from the gate, but physics freakouts made them cut this method of exiting the level. Let's find another way out of here. As you can see, the hills in the background are laughably bare. The beach is not a good example of what the engine is capable of visually.
Welcome to the city of tomorrow.
Atherton was the guy who started the cloning research for InGen in the novels. He never actually shows up in the movies. Trespasser has a weird blend of novel and film characters and events. It also uses the first novel's timeline where the park is shut down in 1989 instead of the film's timeline where the park opens in 1993. So everything is skewed by about 4 years or so.
Welcome to Site B, an InGen research facility. For centuries, mankind has wondered about the dinosaurs, the largest land animals ever to have lived. Now, thanks to breakthrough technologies...
Well, it's now just a small jump coming up ahead, and we're in the next level. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you in the jungle road.